Welcome to Small A's Big Dreams, Season 3, Episode 9.
Wait, no.
9,
Okay,
9,
that's
9.
9.
Yes.
Um, we're gonna make this an amazing intro because I know that the two of you guys who actually clicked the video, you guys stay for the intro, So we're gonna make this a very interesting intro, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right, Johnny?
Yes. How are we gonna do this?
Yes.
Ask
are
the
you gonna
question
do it?
of the day, huh? Ask the question of the day.
Oh, okay. The question of the day is, if you could have any superpower, in the universe, what superpower would you have? Be realistic, like something you could live with.
Like not like flying and stuff.
No, I mean,
More of
flying is cool, I think, but like, I think the most livable superpower would be, like, I think it would be like telekinesis, like you just pick up stuff with your mind. I think that's.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would choose teleportation over anything. Over most of the things.
Yeah, you told me.
Yeah.
For me?
Yeah, why?
What? Yeah, why?
Teleportation, because it saves so much time. It saves, time and energy, and you can do whatever, like you never feel lazy to do anything, right? And you can just if it's school day, you can just wake up at what, 8:49, and then teleport there to school.
So that's what basically I do.
Yeah, basically. It doesn't matter. I can just go to America right now. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, but you see the problem with all the telepowers, like telekinesis, teleportation, it's the word tele. It's long distance, and I think if you had any of those powers, it would just make you so lazy, like so lazy. Like if I could teleport or just pick up stuff with my mind, I would probably be like 50% more lazy, like, you know.
But that's the point though.
Yes.
You want to be
It depends.
saving energy. That's the point though.
It depends. You may or may not be. You can do other stuff.
Yeah.
Why?
Maybe.
Yeah, I guess, but it's always the case that I think that I don't know. I think that me personally, I would become lazy. So I just wouldn't have to do anything really, Like, what if you had the power that you could turn stuff into ice, or you had the power of fire, or some some other superpower, like.
You're basically saying different elements: water,
Mm.
fire,
Yeah.
air. I mean, those are cool. Those are like, I don't know. Like you could perform, I guess, and make a lot of money, on YouTube and stuff.
Oh.
That's true. I don't think you'd actually be enlisted for the army anymore. Like maybe back then, like someone saw you had so many like elemental powers, and then they'd enlist you in the army. But now it's probably like they don't need you. Like what's a bit of fire and ice gonna do? They have like Oppenheimer.
Yeah. They're probably gonna dissect you though. Like-
Yeah, they're gonna trap you. They're gonna. Yeah, the government's gonna use you for their good.
Yes, and you're gonna go through multiple tortures, and you're probably gonna die with misery.
Yes. Okay. How about you, Steve?
For me, I wanna superpower to not to think at all. That's a superpower.
Why?
Because thinking is inevitable. Everybody unconsciously thinks.
Okay.
And sometimes you just don't want to think, but you can't stop thinking. You know, that's how human body works. And then if you not think, I think life is way more livable, and it's more joyful place if you don't think too much. And I want to have a superpower to, control my mind.
Yes,
So I
yes,
think
yes.
when I want to, and I cannot think when I want to. So it's like notifications. I want,
I see.
want to control notifications in my head. So if there's stuff that concerns me, I just want to turn off notification. But you can't do that. So it's a superpower.
Yeah, that's a pretty good.
Mm.
And if you can control it, can you control what you think too?
Yeah,
Like,
wouldn't it be cool? Like if you can turn off all your concerns and like you can turn on notifications for only things that really do matter, right?
can you erase memories?
Erase memories? No, you can't.
Like,
That's too that's too much superpower. That's two superpowers.
I see.
You
Too
can't
much,
do that.
man.
Only
You can only have one, you know?
erase memories though. But erasing memories, I think it's a bad superpower if you if you can't really control yourself. And because like let's say you want to erase a certain memory like that, like because feeling sometimes overwhelmed, and then you just want to get rid of something, and then you get rid of it, and then
Yeah.
later on later on, who knows if you want the memory back, but
Right.
you don't even remember because your memory's erased. you
Yeah.
know
Yeah.
so I don't think it's a good thing, but turning off and on notifications is pretty nice.
You know, you know, just speaking of memories, it's like, the one of the factor that makes me cry in a movie is like loss of memories. I don't know, it makes me really sad when
Yeah.
when the character had this whole thing together with someone or something, and then in the end he loses all his memories.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
guys think that's
like Spider-Man.
Spider-Man? Wow, what happened, Spider-Man?
No, Zendaya lost all her memories.
Oh no, that wasn't that sad. I don't know. No, like I think the what is that? What's the real disease called? It's not a disease. Is it a disease?
You mean like Alzheimer's
Yeah,
or
Alzheimer's. Yeah,
dementia?
I find that really, really sad too. Yeah,
But we all lose memories one day.
really, kind.
They,
Some people are more predisposed to forms of dementia than other people. Dementia just refers to memory loss just in general. That I think the problem is like I don't know how I don't know how I would feel if I was the one, dementia. If I had dementia, like I don't know if I would like revert to a childlike state and like hallucinate about stuff. Like it's just really trippy, like thinking of the brain like that.
Yeah.
dementia.
Um,
Dementia is going back to a kid or something. What is
no,
dementia?
no,
Isn't
no.
it like Alzheimer's? It's the same thing as Alzheimer's.
Alzheimer's is a form of dementia. So dementia
Oh.
just means memory loss, and I'm saying like if you have memory loss, like you could kind of revert back to a childlike state. You could remember people from your past who are actually not there. So it's a bit trippy, I think.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch the movie The Father, have you guys watched it? No, right? It's
Father?
yeah, it's fairly recent, I think 2020 something. But yeah, it's called The Father, and yeah, it narrates the movie through his perspective, and it's like elderly was dementia, and he in the end it shows that he was actually not in his house, but in a hospital the whole time, and he was hallucinating, he was forgetting things, it's very trippy, that one too. Yeah, but he has a whole story in his mind that is not true. I don't know. That's kind of scary to me. I don't know how
Yeah.
that works too, though. It's very tricky.
Mm-hmm.
You're
I
right.
mean, we don't even know anything about brain so far.
What if right now we're actually dementia patients and then we're going back to our past, you know?
That
Yeah.
doesn't work that way. But that doesn't work that way. We forget stuff. Like right now, we can't even act because we don't know. Because like, if I don't know about something, I don't know how I'm gonna act about that. Okay, it's just like you don't have memory, right?
No, yeah, that's the thing though. Like if you're a dementia patient, it's like you know nothing about the future. It's like us right now. Like for example, if you have dementia, like you're going to think like how you think right now. You don't know anything about the future. Like you completely forgot that. But, it's like I don't know. We could be dementia. I mean, I could be a dementia patient, and I'm just talking to hallucinations like you guys. Like
Me, not me. I'm not gonna be a dementia patient. You do you. You do you.
Is it also genetics?
yeah,
Oh, it
Is
is.
it? Oh, it is.
I, my
you can be
my
more predisposed to dementia.
my grand my dad's side grandfather has had dementia. Had. Yeah. Oh. No, that's fine. Yeah.
Man, I think my grandfather is going to have dementia. Because yesterday, he collapsed like
Like.
on the bathroom,
Oh.
and then he got sent to the hospital, and then like he had liver problems, um, and so doctors thought he had a condition called encephalopathy. I think that's the one. It's like liver. Uh, it's like your liver stops working as well, and then it sends toxins to your brain. But like at the end, they figured it wasn't actually that. But when we called him, it's like he couldn't remember anyone. He couldn't remember like my grandma or me. So like yesterday night, I was just kind of staying up awake at night thinking about memory and like kind of how we just have such a short life, dude. It's kind of sad,
Yes,
because
we have a
yeah,
short life,
Yes, yes.
and some people don't recognize how short of a life we have.
Yeah. Like
They do stuff
a
that they.
year passes so quick too. If you think about
Yes,
it.
that's what I really do think these days. It's like 1 year when I was 13 was like so long, but now it's so quick. It's already what? It's already September
Yeah. Right.
2023.
It's already
2024.
more than
And then
halfway through.
yeah, and then when it's 2024, we're just gonna be like, oh, it's again September, and then 2025 the same thing, and it's gonna speed up as we go. Then by 50, 1 year is gonna feel like I don't know, a few months or less.
I think
Yeah.
I think based on my research, it happens the opposite. Like if you're younger, it feels faster.
Oh, is it?
But then as you grow older, it feels slower because it feels faster because you're learning things in your younger days, but then not much in the older days. That's why. Yeah.
yeah. You're also leading like more kind of like objectively more exciting like existences. Like you're really ambitious right now. It's like you have so much potential energy right now,
Yeah.
and then at the end, like when you're 50, like your kinetic energy is a bit higher, but it's like right now you have so much potential energy and you're just like working, and that's why I think time passes fast. Or like even if you just hang out with your friends like a lot, it's like that's an enjoyable thing to do. And I don't know. I guess it makes days seem like they pass faster.
But what I think is, if you're in really big pain, or like if your life is really miserable, time goes slow.
Really?
That's the yes. If like your like day is no joy and it's very much of pain, then your day really actually goes slow. But the funny part is months go fast, but days go slow.
Yeah, yeah, especially when
So,
you're
so
in class.
days, yeah, that's what happened when I was in Korea. Days were
Mm.
so slow; it was going forever. I wanted to leave, and
Forever.
Forever.
months will pass so quick though. It's just gonna be like January, February, March, April,
Yeah, yeah,
May.
yeah. Yeah,
But
it's we're
they,
already done with August already.
mm,
We're already done with
yeah,
August. It's already September too.
yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think I'm having a little bit. I'm having a moderate level of stress about academics now. Like 3 out of 10. I used to have zero. Like,
Dang. Dang,
because
that's
Academics.
actually really interesting.
next week I have 3 summatives and ones. And the thing is, even though I don't really care about academics, it still concerns me if I get a 7 out of 22.
Yeah,
It is
yeah.
so bad. So it's not like I have to get a good score, but if it's 7 out of 22, it concerns me. so so
Oh, yeah,
in
at least,
yeah, in the back of my mind, I know that I have to study now, but I don't want to. And it's kind of they're fighting each other. It's kind of a conflict that I have in my head for like past one day.
That's
That's
one
what
day.
that's what I thought yesterday.
Yeah.
Suddenly I'm like 7 out of 22. It's too bad though. It's too
I mean, you
so
have a
and then
retake, no? Yeah.
yeah. But
Dude, I was congratulating you. I was like, oh, dude, you got a 7. Oh,
Yeah, I
out of
know. I
22.
know. You got a 7.
oh, nice.
Um, what you
Yeah.
call that? You know, and also for the opposite, like if it's a good time, it goes so fast. And
Yes.
sometimes,
Absolutely.
like for example, like prom or like the bar hangout that we had, the time went so fast there. I don't know why. Like, and sometimes I don't know. I feel so. I feel like I didn't really enjoy it that much than I had than you know it was expecting. Even though it was really good, I don't know, for some reason, because it went so fast, I couldn't enjoy myself. Like,
So you want to stay forever?
yeah,
Yes.
stay forever. Right. Yeah, I don't know. It's sometimes hard to enjoy the time too. Like if it's really short. That's why.
It's not short,
It's not
but
short, but still, I don't know.
felt short. It felt short, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. That's why you want to stay forever.
Yeah, but that's when reality hits you. It's like great, then you gotta go
Yeah,
home, do
and
stuff.
yeah, after that you go home. Yeah, you feel it's normal again.
Yeah.
You know.
That's how I think school will pass. We graduate, feel super, high and special, and then we'll go home. But one of the points you brought up was like it doesn't feel like I enjoyed it enough, you said.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
I
yeah.
think I also feel the same way. I think it's if you expect too much out of like a hangout or something, you find that it's not as enjoyable as you thought. You have these expectations in your head, and then the actual thing's not as good, and then you ask yourself, did I not enjoy it as much? Like, why am I not feeling these feelings? But
Mm-mm. Yeah. Also, I think one of the factors because um, I think some people like try to hold back they try to keep their their the same attitude or the same character sometimes, and they don't want to lose it, like be more loose and just like really had fun, if you know what I mean.
Like bars and stuff.
Yeah, for example, like that. They're like
I'm,
they're
I'm
like
kind of the
shy.
opposite. I'm always loose. That's my problem. I, I got my baseball uniform, and then I lost at the day, like the day that I got my uniform. So I
Man,
asked for a new cap in activities office,
Oh.
and okay, it was good till then, and then suddenly yesterday, Coach Finchie texted me, "I need that cap. Find your cap."
Oh.
And I'm like, "Okay, Coach, I'm sorry. I would have looked for it." It was like, right? Ah,
That's why. That's why you keep saying that.
yes, yes, yes. Um, you know, my days are like always moderately okay. It's always good, but I don't know. Maybe I could use a little more excitement and challenge, and I think that challenge is kind of academics right now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of
Yeah.
fun. It's kind of fun. What am I gonna do next time? 9 out of 22, 11 out of 22.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, actually, studying is fun if there's no pressure of
it is.
scores. Actually, you can be more creative about stuff. You can really be more based about understandings and what you really learn.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you're stressed about scores, actually, if you're not stressed about scores, you do better.
You think so?
Not based on my scores, but like, let's say you or Ding had a quiz and you felt more comfortable. Okay, you there weren't much pressure. Then don't you think you would have done better? I think probably, maybe.
But
Mm,
if you look at an economical scale, I don't know. It's both good and bad. I think because not
Oh,
everybody's like you, and they might just take advantage of it. But for me, not sure. Maybe half. I think sometimes, yeah, sometimes no. Yeah. That's how my attitude will be. What
mhm.
do you think?
I think you need to have a certain level of stress to actually do anything. Because stress is not always bad,
Right.
but if you let it kind of run your life, then it becomes bad. I mean, I think everyone knows that. It's just more, it's so hard to do, like when you're in school, when you're studying for a test and you just don't get shit. Like it's hard. Like and then you start thinking about, okay, I'm gonna flunk this test. I'm gonna get a this IB score.
Yeah.
I'm gonna,
Yeah.
this is gonna lower my predicted. I'm not gonna get into college. Like it's it's it becomes really magnified stress when you let it run loose. So I think that's the big problem with stress. But in terms of motivating you to study, I think you need to have stress. We have some friends who I think, I don't know, like their life is driven by stress, and I don't know how they cope with it, but they sleep at like 4 a.m., like studying. Um, they study until like 4 a.m. They show up the next day, and then they're all good. But I don't think that's kind of the type of life I want to live. I just want to right now. I just want to try my best and see where that leads me. Not kind of stress myself to death.
Yeah, like imagine just trying to just connecting it. You study until 4 a.m. every day, blah 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 blah. You study so much, and then suddenly, at the end, you have dementia. you, you lose everything that you work for so hard. That's why, yeah, dementia. As I said, it's so scary for me, cause your work goes to nothing. That's almost sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, all the
no,
knowledge you had.
work always goes nothing at the end of
Life
life.
is meaningless.
I mean, no, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like if you're thinking about results, like if you have to accomplish something and you want that like as like a badge, okay, on your social media. Yes, in that sense of, I think it is meaning. If you're, because you're not gonna, everything you do is basically gonna be nothing at the end. It's what you do during the time. It's like the bar, okay? Like the bar hangout.
Mm.
It's like, what do you gain after the bar hangout? You don't get a badge, you don't get no diploma, but you had a fun time and you enjoyed, right? It's I think in that sense it is meaningful. But if you want something, like if you crave for like a status, or let's say knowledge, it's all gonna be nothing. So I think the only way to find meaning in life is enjoying its process, not the results.
It's
If
a
you live up,
journey.
yes, the journey itself. Because if you live upon results, it's gonna be all nothing one day. Then why do you live for it? It's like kind of, you know, it's kind of like game, even though you work hard and you get all those badges, and like let's say you get all those fame, honor, and then like you're like number two on the leaderboard, and then one day the game collapses and the game is done. Okay, let's say game's done. Then you get nothing. What do you get? Nothing really. But you still do because you love the times, you just love playing game. I think
Yeah.
that's how life basically is. It's like, you could live upon results, but I think the main focus should be the journey itself, and then results follow. And even though results sometimes give you much joy, and you can't deny that, because it really is. Like, let's say you get accepted to a great college, or let's say you achieve a great results in your career, great stuff in your career, you would feel nice. It would feel great. But if you live upon that, I don't think it's gonna be much joyful life than living upon the journey itself, right?
Yeah. Um, you might not kind of like this thought process, but I think, it's about settling, not always reaching upon the stars if you don't need to. Because recently I was recently I made up my mind that I want to become a physiotherapist, and that meant that the schools that I was applying to were specialized for physiotherapy. And I tried pretty hard in my IB during the first year, and so I got a pretty high predicted grade. But when I actually looked at the school's requirements, you don't need you don't even need a 40 for some of the schools. You need a 33, a 34. And just knowing that, I was I was still stressed. I was still like, oh, I have to get that 41. I have to get that 42. Because I need to, I need to prove something. I need to show my friends or whatever. I need to show my teachers, like all this kind of pointless ego stuff, like I'm probably gonna forget about my IB score in a few years, but I am spending so much unnecessary time and effort to just get that. And so I just told myself, you know what? If you at least end with a 37, 38, still be happy. You still tried your best. And you made a decision, you made a decision. If you want to do all that other unnecessary stuff to prove something, or you can just try, but not do something so unnecessary that you don't really need to.
Yeah, and stress over about it,
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the phrase proving something. I think that's how most of people live. They just constantly try to prove something.
Prove
And it's
something to someone,
and
to
it's not bad,
themselves.
because I do the same, I think. And that's it. I think it's kind of inevitable. People always constantly try to prove something. It could be their personality, their state, their knowledge, anything really. But I think people constantly trying to prove something to someone. That could be you to you. Like, you could be trying to prove something to yourself. Like,
Right. You
um,
know you're
what?
better than this.
Yes, you're better
Yeah.
than this. I'm gonna prove myself that I'm right, or I'm gonna prove you that you're wrong or you're right. But I think most of the times the factor that motivates you is when you try to prove something that's right. Like
Yeah,
if you're
yeah,
trying to
yeah.
tell
I
yourself
like
you're
the
right,
phrase.
or like your family, like because they have expectations sometimes, and most times, and then you don't wanna let them down, or yourself actually, a lot
Yeah.
of times. And then I think that's what drives a lot of
Mm.
people, and that even drives me too. I don't. I my What I want to prove right now is that I don't need to study and do all this to live a good life. That's what I really want to prove to my dad, to myself, really, to everyone, actually.
To to prove your to make the evidence of your
Yes.
points way back before, you know.
Yes.
The employer employee,
Yes, yes, yes. Definitely. I'm trying to prove that. Like that one podcast, I'm gonna prove that for 30 years.
No,
Bet you
I don't
guys,
think
bet.
that was a podcast actually.
Yeah,
I think it was
it was
just a
just
call.
It was just a debate.
Yeah,
It was,
it went on for so long.
it
uh,
was, huh?
And
So, wasn't somebody gonna say something?
yeah, Dave.
No?
no, no.
Yeah, and yeah, there was a different debate too about how, you know, the language of language, knowing language, you know,
Just trying
it
to,
helps you
you
or
know,
something.
you know, I think Johnny, I think you laugh more these days compared to you like 6 months ago, 7 months ago.
Perhaps because yeah, I also looked at IB scores, right? And mine is not that high. So and by looking at the IB scores, I was like, oh, okay, 33, 34, 32, 31. Oh, not bad. Like if I apply this, I know I'm gonna get in. And so yeah, that kind of took off my stress. Like even though I fail something or fail my rest of my IB, I will probably still land in somewhere, like be somewhere I want to be. You know, I still have a place to go. I think that's what
Yeah, like
settles me.
this past 2 months, did you notice? Because Johnny had way more genuine laughs, like actual
Yeah,
laughs.
I
Cause
think
uh-huh.
I don't know. Maybe. I think that I've I've just always talked to Johnny so much that I don't really notice it as much. But like hearing what Johnny said, like right now, that because during the summer he was telling me like, dude, I need to get a 38. I need to raise my PGs by this much. I also felt that stress, during the summer. I was like, I need to maintain this, or because sometimes we set unrealistic expectations or expectations that cause us too much stress and we don't have a backup. But I think just by Johnny having a backup, not just in his school, but he even told me last time that he believes in his friends more than he believes in himself. It was like, if in the future I don't have I'm not successful, at least I can call like Angelo, who might be, the CEO of a big company, and then maybe he can offer me a job. And then I was like, that's not wrong. And that's not settling. That's kind of working within your means and understanding that, you could fail, but at least you have a safety net there, and it's okay in the end. So I think that, yeah, I can see that. And that's also something I'm trying to change. That's also something I'm trying to look towards.
Mm. I mean, you know, do you believe yourself that much then? Because Johnny said he believes others more than he believes himself. And I think that's the standard.
Hmm.
I don't believe myself. never do. And then,
Really?
because if you see my 100 by 100 push up, I failed at day 7. But but
Yeah.
it's just a proof. It's just a proof that I'm a human being, I guess.
I mean, it's still a challenge. Just try to.
Yeah. I don't think you should make that excuse every time, you know.
And then you just try to justify yourself. Okay, as a human being, that's how it always works, you know. Okay, if you try really hard, really hard, and you still fail, okay, you still fail, then you will try to justify yourself that you're a human being and you weren't lucky this time. And that's not bad, because that's what Edison did for like 999 times, because he failed his experiment 999 times,
Yeah.
which means he proved himself as a dummy dumb for 999
Yeah.
times.
Yes.
But he still justified himself, saying, maybe I wasn't lucky. Maybe I could do better, you know. And,
Yeah.
it's sometimes if you're too obsessed with not failing, rather succeeding, because sometimes people have wrong focus. They don't want to fail, which shouldn't be the focus. Rather, they want to succeed. It's kind of different. Not wanting to fail and wanting to succeed, because you can fail and succeed. But if you don't try to fail, it's kind of different. It's kind of different.
Mm.
Actually, really different. And I'm really, I can tolerate my failures, because I know that I'm not a perfect human being, and I don't expect so much from myself. Really, I'm the one that I expect the most from the others, I guess, and not myself, I think. Because I know that Johnny's gonna get a good IB score. I mean, moderately good compared to myself, because I got a 7 out of 22 when I today. Today he's gonna probably end his IB really well, but me, I don't know where I'm going. I expect a lot from you guys than me, and I think it's an unconscious thought that we all have. Do you
Yeah.
trust yourself that much?
Like, despite there being so many, messages about like believe in yourself and stuff, but most of the times I don't think people actually. Yeah, I really never thought about it, but if I think about it right now, yeah, it's hard to really believe in yourself because there's so many
Yeah.
evidence that you're not that guy. There's so many
Yeah, there's
evidence, right?
because you live your life.
Yeah,
You see
and
it.
you know it,
Yeah.
but then the others only see the maybe like the good parts or
The good parts.
yeah, that's why.
Exactly. That's what I wanted to bring up. I think you're 110% right, both of you guys. But my stance on that is, I don't know, it's just like my Instagram bio just says believe in yourself, because every time I hear that, it's like contradictory to some of the self-talk I give, because sometimes
Right.
I was listening to a podcast, and it was a podcast with Chris Bumstead. He's the Mr. Olympia, right? He's
Yeah.
everyone knows him usually, he's really popular now, and he was talking about how so much of the time he had so much negative self-talk to himself. Like he observed and he realized how much negative self-talk he had to himself. Like, even something as simple as talking to somebody else, he would convince himself that he wasn't good enough to do it. He had this problem, that problem, and I think one of the ways to combat this is being aware, of your negative self-talk. That's something I've been trying to do. But the other thing is that, you view other people more strongly than yourself. Like, cause you know yourself. You know how many times you've fallen. You know how many times you've broken your promises. When I see Johnny, or even when I see you, Steve, I'm like, oh, they have their shit together, cause I don't know as much about you guys as I do about myself. And that goes for everyone, you know? But I think that you have to believe in yourself, because if you don't believe in yourself, well, that's the only person who's gonna be with you your entire life, man. It's your friends are gonna go away sometime, you know.
Yeah.
They might move away, they might even pass away, you know. It's but you're with you the the entire time you live. So you have to win your trust, man, in in some way.
Yeah. I think that's
I,
true.
I believe in both, you know? I believe in both themselves. I believe that I will fail and succeed. I can fail, I can succeed, you know?
Yeah,
It's
I believe
just,
in both too. Yeah,
yeah, I believe both.
I
It's like,
believe in both too, then.
so,
yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, it's not the best answer because it's actually really stupid conclusion to have to believe in both because it's saying you believe in everything. It's like, I believe that I can be wrong or right. I mean, yeah, of course you're
What
wrong.
does that mean?
But like, yeah, me, yes. But some people really don't, and they restrict themselves in one sort of a value. They believe that they're gonna fail only or gonna succeed only, and then sometimes that just
Yeah.
doesn't work that way. You
Yeah.
know, like, so I think it's important to realize that we're all human beings and we all fail, we all succeed.
Not the challenge though. Not the challenge.
See, look, I failed on day 7, but kept on going on day 8.
I wouldn't take that. I wouldn't do that. I'll start back on day one. I will start back on day one.
Because, look, look, it was justifiable, right? Because it was a lucky
Lucky
day.
day.
You're allowed to skip lucky days. If it,
Mm,
I know. I mean,
you know what?
just like how
How
God rested on the seventh.
Yeah, just like how God rested.
Yeah,
You know what, Steve? How I thought of the accountability group, because I've also had problems with seeing myself fail, but how I thought of it was, number one, yeah, you can't be too hard on yourself, like, breaking your promises and stuff. But but what you have to realize is, just like yourself, like, because you see each and every one of your failures. And if you keep failing to yourself, if you keep breaking promises to yourself, your self-worth's going to be like down here, and you're not going to be inclined to believe yourself. But that's the same thing with other people as well. I realized that every time maybe at the start, when I ask for help from my friends, the trust level's here. But if I keep failing, if I keep breaking the promises, even if my friends want to, keep supporting me, maybe it goes here, and then eventually I text the group chat. I'm like, sorry guys, like maybe 5 years later, I failed again. And then everyone's like, okay, okay, yeah. Like, I mean, we want to support you, but we kind of expected it in the end already. So, as friends, you want to believe in other people, but it's also the role of the person who's
Right.
failing and asking for help to,
Also.
do that. You can only break someone's trust so many times, even yourself. So you have to keep working. You have to try your best always, and
Yeah.
keep that in mind, right?
Like the way I think it is like, if you truly believe in yourself, like, I think not much people can tear you apart, because you know yourself so much that, and you do believe in yourself, that you don't care really what if other people believe in you or not, because you're gonna say, what do they know about me, right?
yeah,
That's why I think it's better to have, like, you believing in yourself and nobody believes in you, than like 1,000 people believing in you but you not believing in yourself, right?
that's the thing. Because when I think, because it's I just went on doing day 8, and then Johnny was just like, damn, because it was a nonsense, and then people said stuff. But what I do think is, I've learned this I don't know if I don't know if I actually took it as a wisdom, but it's a knowledge in my head. It's just yet knowledge. It's not wisdom yet, but um, I think people don't really care about you so much because they have their own stuff going on. I don't really think that they care that
Yeah,
much.
yeah. So you
If
gotta be
you
the
have
one.
support, if you ask for support, they will give you support. And if you do something and then like let's say my 100 by 100 push up, so people can see how I do. So it's fun. They can watch. But it's not Steve failed day 7. Sheesh, this dude. What is he doing? What's he doing? You know what? Your trust level. I'm gonna calculate your trust level now. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah,
decreased
yeah.
by 7. No, it's because you know you don't really care. Because think about it. How much stress do you take from yourself? And right, like just think about it. Do you have space for other thoughts to really
You're
be
right.
in, right? Nobody cares. Nobody cares really. But having the point of like people supporting you and all that is just so you can believe in yourself better.
Exactly.
It's not about others believing in you. It's them helping yourself to believe in yourself. So
Yeah.
Exactly.
No
if
cap.
you
No
do,
cap.
if you do, if you do, you can just say day 7 was a lucky day.
Yes,
Who
yes,
knows?
yes.
You know,
Yeah.
it's 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 really not that easy, I think, because I think I still unconsciously think how others think about me, but it's way less than that I did like 2 3 years. Because now I know that people really don't care, and
Mm.
it's all just like a flame. Okay, they might be mad at you. It's a flame. They might like you. It's a flame. They're all gonna go back to themselves one day because they have their stuff. You
Yeah.
know, so you might give them good impressions, bad impressions, and if they don't like you, they don't like you. If they like you, they like you. It's if you try constantly think if you constantly think about how others will think about you, it really enhances a lot of stress. And I
Mm.
think the first like number one thing you could do to get rid of stress is having a thought that nobody really cares about you except yourself. Yourself really do care about you.
Yeah.
You
Yourself
know
really.
what? That's true. And I'd like to point out two examples. Like this podcast is also running pretty long.
Yeah.
Because really, I do agree with you, Steve. I think at the end of the day, like even me, I think that people care somewhat, about my problems. Maybe they do. If I tell them, they're like, oh, we want to support you and all of this. But at the end of the day, as you said, it's a flame, it's a fire. It goes out. People revert to their own problems. Everyone has their own problems. That's the thing. But you're tasked with believing in yourself. It's not other people's responsibility. It's you who has like an eternal fire that you have to keep like pumping in yourself. Um and at the end of the day, it's not other people who suffer. It's you that suffers. And how do I know this? It's also from my accountability group. It's like, yes, people might see my message and then they're like, "Oh shit, you fucked up." But the next day, it's like, who has to deal with this? Me, right? It's no one else. And when I talked about my grandpa yesterday, like collapsing, he drank for a majority of his life, and he led a really unhealthy life. So he had liver surgery because he had liver cancer, and he was in a period of remission. But towards recently, he's always let himself go, and he sits he he sits down every day and watches like maybe like 12 hours of TV. But even as family, what can you do? You can't take up his burden and his responsibility. At the end of the day, it's him suffering. If you hear he's at the hospital, you're gonna be sad. You're gonna call him. You're gonna try to support him. If you're really close to him, you're gonna be there for him. But at the end of the day, it's still him suffering. You're still going on with your life, and he has to go on with his life. So, in terms of the responsibility, you have to believe in yourself. I think that's the main takeaway, because even if other people believe in you, they have to believe in themselves too. They can only pass a small fire to you, but they have to fuel their big fire too, right? So,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's you suffering.
I mean,
For real,
I
for
learned.
real.
I actually learned something. Like last month too, that even really really strong emotions that you will never think it will fade, does fade. Cause I was really really angry at my mom once, and now the emotions fades. It's not like I'm so aggressive now. It's not like I am so mad at her. I don't want to talk. No, it's like okay, you know, she human being too. She human being too. I guess. You know,
Especially
it,
love.
yes. So it's like emotions really, because like sometimes when you're caught in those strong emotions, you never think it will fade. You're just like this emotion that, because especially you, because you can't think objectively. It's like you believe that this emotion is gonna go forever, but no, it does fade.
Forever.
Forever. Alright.
Forever.
Alright.
All right. I think that was a nice talk.
Yes, yes.
It
it's
really
good.
was a nice talk, actually. What should we title this episode?
Believe
This
in yourself.
You do you. You do you.
Believe in yourself.
It's very cliche, but it's true. It's true.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think really this is more a record for us. Maybe 45 years into the future, rather than it is really like, if people watch till here, great. But I know that like sometime in the future, I'm gonna watch till here. It
Right.
might be 20 years from now.
Yeah.
But I mean, see ya, Gerard, see ya, Steve, and see ya, Johnny. Whenever you watch this.
Yeah. I think
You
yeah.
young blood. You don't talk to me like that.
Young blood.
You young blood.
Alright.
Don't talk-
Then yeah, I think we'll come back in the next 10th episode of Small Life Picture.
The 10th episode of season 3.
Yeah.
And yes, we'll see you guys next time. Thank you for joining us.
Bye bye.
Bye.